Also on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi. It's on Jubilee Radio in Keta in the Volta region, Radio Full BC in the Upper East region, Gaskia FM in the Bono region, ATL FM in the Central region. It's on ABN Radio in London and around the world at myjoyonline.com. We're live from digital address GA0993341. Up in this edition, Obuasi Municipal Assembly braces up for an increase in COVID-19 cases as every suburb records a positive case.
Initially, when one suburb was mentioned to have recorded a case, everybody was moving from that area to the other centers. That contributed to the spread.
Also, Tourism Ministry overturns the Tourism Authority's directive to drinking bars and businesses within the hospitality industry to resume operations.
We don't want to have additional headache of having drinking spots, hotels and restaurants coming to add up to the already complicated situation we are in now.
Drinking bars remain closed.
We have details.
And in business, Ghana Statistical Service projects inflation rates slowing down in coming months, despite huge jump in April. Details in 15 minutes.
And as the world battles the coronavirus amid spread of false information, Joy News teams up with the Media Foundation for West Africa to bring you a series of stories to bust the myths, misinformation, and provide you with facts you can trust. In the second edition, we tell you the story of a 24-year-old who has been remanded into police custody for allegedly disseminating fake news on social media.
Corona is not killing Ghanaians, and it will not kill any Ghanaian. Why? Because they be amunum soboro. We were hibiscus. You're always drinking hibiscus flowers. That's soboro. We were ginger baby amudinu, garlic baby amudinu. Corona be any attack him.
We have details of these and other stories here in the package. Thank you for joining us. Now, municipal districts and health authorities in Obuasi are bracing up for potential increase in community spread of COVID-19 there as every suburb records a positive case. Officials are already recommending restrictions of human movement as confirmed cases reach 456. That's more than 75% of all cases in the Ashanti region. At a joint meeting, the respective security committees adopted a proposal from public health officials for either a partial lockdown or curfew in Obuasi. Obuasi Municipal Chief Executive Elijah Dansabona has been speaking to Ohiminteria in this report.
Flouting of protocols by market women forced authorities to close down 2 facilities. Authorities say the market will be opened to only 500 traders at a time. Elijah Adansibona is the Obuasi Municipal Chief Executive.
We have about 1,500 shop owners. So now we are giving out not more than 500 cards.
Almost every suburb has recorded a positive case.
Per the graph plotted now, I can say that almost every suburb has 1 or 2 cases.
The surge in COVID-19 cases is not only a concern to residents. The assemblies are proposing to the presidency to introduce restrictions on movements of people.
Any form of restriction that can also enhance contact tracing would be appreciated. But if you ask me, yes, either partial lockdown or curfew, but that can be announced by the president.
You heard the MC for Obuasi, Elijah Dansabona, ending Ohiminteria's report. Now, the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture has overturned the Ghana Tourism Authority's directive to drinking bars and businesses within the hospitality industry to resume operations. The statement by the GTA attracted huge backlash from the public, including the clergy and lawyers who say the directive is inconsistent with the law. Here's a News Desk report.
The Ghana Tourism Authority said that food chains and restaurants can operate sit-downs and drinking bars can operate too. Virologists warned this was a risky decision.
We have to reverse this as quickly as possible.
But not everyone saw the danger, as virologists like Dr. Michael Owusu saw. The news brought inexplicable excitement to operators of drinking spots and restaurants. In fact, preparation for resumption of business was already underway. The group calling itself Ghana Drunkards Association also put in a word.
We appreciate the lift on the ban on alcohol. The moment the press release was out, I 3 thoughts of ginger to boost my immune system.
But that excitement would be short-lived. The Ministry of Tourism outlawed the Ghana Tourism Authority's directives with a circular stating,
Drinking bars remain closed. All nightclubs remain closed. This circular supersedes the one issued by the regulator.
And that reversed the thread of excitement.
A News Desk report there. Now, times of crisis are always great times for fake news and propaganda. The more ridiculous the claim, the more traction it gains on social media. On today's episode of Joy News' series titled Combating Fake News, we bring you the story of a 24-year-old who has been remanded pending trial for disseminating fake news on social media and inciting the public to commit crime.
Corona is not killing Ghanaians, and it will not kill any Ghanaian. Why? Because they be amunum soboro.
That's 24-year-old Bless Ahmededbe making claims in a recorded video of himself inciting the public to defy the stay-home presidential directive aimed at halting the spread of coronavirus in Ghana. In the said video, which was made during Ghana's 3-week lockdown period, Bless claimed the directive to stay at home was a hoax and he planned to install 5G cables in the affected areas. Those 5G cables, he claimed, were meant to kill Ghanaians.
The
claims Bless make in this video are untrue. Ghana Health Service statistics show coronavirus has killed 24 Ghanaians. It has been scientifically proven that 5,408 have been infected so far. Well, whilst many feel invincible on social media, Bless was struck down by the national security operatives who came across the video. He was arrested on Tuesday, charged with false communication and assault on public officer contrary to Electronic Communications and Criminal and Other Offences Act. He was put before the Accra Circuit Court 4 and remanded. Bless Ahmededbe has been explaining his actions after his remand. He claims the video was meant for a skit on his personal YouTube channel but went viral.
The motive behind the video actually, because that is not even the video I was coming to do, but that is the acting part of it.
Now, with Ghana's COVID-19 cases inching towards 6,000, scientists are emphasizing need to know the impact of a country's response to the pandemic. That requires development of artificial intelligence to study common patterns among countries and classify them according to the spread of infection. Luckily, a Ghanaian scientist has lived up to the challenge by developing a technology he has already used to prove Ghana is yet to reach her peak. On Tech Thursday, Love FM's Kwesi Deborah speaks to the developer Dr. Mark Amoboating of the University of Energy Natural Resources in Sunyani.
The system uses a technology called convolution neural network, commonly applied to analyzing visual imagery. Dr. Amoboating has used this to pound the gavel on Ghana's COVID-19 situation.
I looked at what was happening in Ghana, then I realized that the coronavirus is still rising and hasn't peaked yet. And truly, if you look at Ghana, our cases, we've been doubling our cases almost every week. I wanted to make sure that the AI is not biased, so I went and I looked at the data behind it and I compared it, and Ghana was just on the mean. We are just following the curve and actually proved that we are not there.
But how does it work?
First thing was to try and look at patterns within it, and since everything was difficult, I tried to okay, let me see if I can use facial intelligence to analyze the data that is coming. That's of the Johns Hopkins University. They compile data from World Health Organization, and so the AI pulls the data, then it pre-processes it and analyzes the patterns, looking at the past 100 days, and it compares it to what is happening over the trend period.
That's our story for Tech Thursday. Now, shortly after the story of a 3-year-old who was abused by his father for bedwetting was told, help has started pouring in for him. The father of the boy, whose name was given as Ebenezer Osei, is said to have whipped the minor with a wire and a belt, leaving him with severe wounds to his back, thighs and hands. The boy has since been hospitalized at the Minsha Government Hospital in Kumasi, where he's responding to treatment.
Deep cuts and marks of assault spread over his back, hands and thigh, with 2 huge bumps on the forehead.
I was severely tortured. I was beaten, and these are my wounds. I am in pain.
Bob is Junior's 26-year-old mother who dated the child's father, a national service person, for about 7 years.
He can hit me with anything he finds.
So that was a story filed by Erastus Asaridonko. The Social Welfare Department in the Ashanti region has moved in to provide some support. Here is Social Development Officer for the Kumasi Social Welfare Office, Godfred Abogo.
The department, through the regional director, has directed that the child should be kept at the facility for at least a week. The department is liaising with the psychologist at the Kovanoti Teaching Hospital to be brought in to speak to the child and her mother, but the mother looked visibly troubled and needs some counseling. The department has asked the hospital through the medical team not to charge any medical bills in that regard, and the department is making recommendations to report to our national office so that if there are any immediate assistance that may be required to assist the lady going forward, same will be done. For the meantime, we are absorbing the medical bills.
You heard the Social Development Officer for the Kumasi Office of the Department of Social